So Boise State hoops. They will host San Diego State, tip-off 2 hours in the final regular season home Mountain West basketball game this program will play. They entered the Mountain West in the 2011-2012 calendar academic year, and they will leave in the 2025-2026 academic calendar year. Mike Prater, we ask our listeners 2 questions we need answers to. 1, what was Boise State's biggest Mountain West moment, or your favorite Mountain West moment for Boise State? You can't say the first Fiesta Bowl. They were in the WAC. Mountain West moments only, Mike Prater. And number 2, we want to know, did you get what you wanted out of the league in the 15, 16 year, whatever it was? Did you get what you needed? Did you get what you wanted out of this league? Look back fondly. Yeah, that was good for us. 208-424-9300, Mike Prater, Taco Bell hotline.
Yeah, it's kind of a big night and kind of a weird night. And I'll never forget the day that Boise State was announced into the Mountain West. And we all experienced this, man. Life just comes at you so fast, and it's been like the fastest 15 to 16 years. I can't imagine 16 years from now, as Boise State's still competing in the Pac-12, we have this conversation. What's it been like for Boise State in the Pac-12? Time has flown by. I think those are great questions, Ballgame, in terms of the memories. It's the Fiesta Bowl 2014. It's 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments. It's Ashton Genty. Maybe it's something else for you guys. And did Boise State get what it wanted out of the Mountain West? Boy, that's going to be a different answer for every single human being. I think institutionally, for this program, they thought it was going to be a stepping stone. I think the fans were hoping it was a stepping stone. I think the next move, they were hoping it would be Power 4, Big 12. That didn't happen. So maybe not, but I don't think we should let that get in the way of a ceremonial big moment tonight, a really cool era, a really fun era. Ballgame, you wear it. And when we go to Mountain West Media Days, we've done Vegas.
Pac-12 Media Days.
When we've done Mountain West Media Days in Vegas in the past or gone to Vegas for Mountain West Championship basketball tournaments, we've done both of those over the years. They always give you free swag. 3 or 4 years ago, they gave out a little fleece hoodie that you wear to work all the time. All the time. I got the same hoodie, and in honor of tonight, for the first time in 4 years, I broke it out.
I've never seen you wear that.
I've never worn it in my entire life.
I've never seen him wear it. Video audience.
I don't wear free stuff. I don't like free stuff. I don't like to owe people anything. I give it back, or I give it to DI or something. For whatever reason, I saw this morning, and I thought of you, and I put on for the first time in 4 years my little Mountain West hoodie. This is truly the end of an era.
What's DI?
Deseret Industries, thrift store.
Okay.
Where I take all my stuff.
Flew over my head.
One of the things that I've picked up on and working with you guys the last 9 months now, just about, it's just been that it seems like in the history of the athletic department here, Boise State's always finding that next level up. Even if it's a small level up, they're kind of always looking for that, as Jeremiah Dickey talks about, what's next, whether that was Big Sky, Big West, WAC, Mountain West. It feels like each step to the next league was maybe to varying degrees, but still a better step than the previous league. And I think that we can safely say that about what the Mountain West gave Boise State as a league. I think that it offered a better home for Boise State than the WAC. And ideally, that's what the Pac-12 does. I know we're not here to talk about the future, but, nobody's going to act like any of these leagues, including the new Pac-12, were power conferences. But finding your place and really being able to butter your bread in that league. And I understand that when they got here, you were thinking Utah, TCU, BYU. But Boise State proved to certainly be the flagship football program of this conference and had some nice moments in basketball. So I think you look back at the 15-year run or whatever it was, and you have to feel certainly more optimistic than pessimistic.
Did you get what you wanted, Boise State fan, from the Mountain West? And what was your favorite Mountain West Boise State moment? If you could capture one era or something, what would it be? Prater, before we get to the calls, give us an update on the poll that we released earlier today. What's any percentages?
A couple of hours now, and we talked about the Fiesta Bowl, the 14 one, the 3 NCAA consecutive trips, and the Ashton Genty experience. 71% are voting right now for Ashton Genty, 27% for the Fiesta Bowl. This poll's not getting a lot of votes. out of 83 votes, the 3 consecutive NCAA trips has gotten 1 vote.
Out of 83.
One
person was like, yeah, the magical moment for Boise State in the Mountain West era was the 3 consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament.
I think the biggest issue here is I don't think we can poo-poo the Mountain West era. I think the basketball team did fine, and let's just leave it at that. I think the football team did fine. Let's just leave it at that. I think they could have produced more individual memories. I think that they could have figured out a way, and I'm not saying that no, it would have been nice if they could have, if college football or basketball could have figured out a way to get Boise State into a power conference. That was the end goal.
Yeah.
But I think everything we talk about, everything that we're saying right now, everything we're doing is being compared to the WAC era. And the WAC era, especially in football, was so damn dominant and so damn magical that it's hard to compare anything. Nobody wants to compare the 2014 Fiesta Bowl to anything. I mean, come on, guys, that's crazy. 3 consecutive NCAA trips was kind of fun, but they didn't win. And Ashton Jeanty was a wonderful outlier that we'll never forget.
All right, we're going to start with Dean in Cuna. You guys, we asked you 2 questions. Answer one of them or both. And what was your favorite Boise State moment in Mountain West? And did you get what you wanted from this league? Dean, welcome to the program. Where are you going?
Hey, guys, just to give you a little bit of my history, I was born a Bronco. My dad played in the first game in the new Bronco Stadium, so it's been my whole life.
Nice.
I don't really have a strong distinction between each of the conference affiliations, but I have an absolute best favorite Mountain West moment, and it was definitely number 2 in our Mountain West championship victories, not this past season, but the one before, tearing down the goalposts, being on the blue, knowing that we were going to our first ever playoff. That's what I care about more as a Bronco fan, was access. And I don't care if I want to be in a power conference, but that's way less important than that access to show what we got on the field. And we got to go to the playoff. I got to take all my kids to go watch them not quite perform how we wanted, but we at least got the access and had our chance. We could have gone all the way, right? That's all we need is a door into that playoff access. We got it. We're going to get it again. And so I love what the Mountain West did for us in the fact that we got the opportunity to go and to show it on the field.
Love that call. Nicely done. Ballgame, I think I made a mistake when I'm putting out this poll. I probably should, because I put 2014 Fiesta Bowl, 3 consecutive NCAA trips, Ashton Jeanty, and then other. The 4th one probably should have, because I kind of included the Mountain West Championship game in with Ashton Jeanty, and I probably should have included that special Friday night as something different, because I think that was probably a more magical moment for most Boise State football fans than the 14 Fiesta Bowl.
It was. I think so, too. I think the Jeanty year, even though you lost the Fiesta Bowl, I think you look back or you think, or that was, I don't know, more entertaining or whatever it was that topped the 2014 team that lost 2 games early into the season, then got red hot, rode the J train, and had a really good year. I'm not taking anything away. That team had a ton of future pros. It was a fun game. They beat an Arizona Wildcat team that also had a couple of losses. So it wasn't like the most magical Fiesta Bowl moment ever, but it's the only Fiesta Bowl trophy Boise State has that says Mountain West on it.
Yeah, 100%.
The other 2 are whack, and then they lost the game that Jeanty took them to. Let's get to Jay in Boise on the Taco Bell hotline. Jay, where are you going? Moment or what you got from this league? What you have?
Well, let me tell you, this was, I'm going to take you back to 1998. And Prater, I don't know if you remember this, but Boise State went down and they beat Utah in the last second on a drive that went 98 yards.
94.
And
94 yards in 106 seconds.
Yes, that's right. So it was crazy, right? But here's what happened.
After Dirk Cutter benched the starting quarterback and brought in the backup with 104 seconds left in the game and said, go 94 yards.
Yeah. Now here's what happened. I moved down to Utah, and I remember reading the Salt Lake Tribune, and the person who the beat writer was for sports said, does Boise State wants into the Mountain West, right? And then they said, we wanted in, and Gene Blameyer has been going back and testifying before Congress and everything like that about this. And the person talked about how good we were doing. This is, I'm thinking about around 2000, and they said, but they want in to play with BYU and Utah and TCU. and they go, how good Boise State is, they should just go right to the Pac-12. And that's how they ended the article, right? And so if you take a look at this whole thing that's taken place for us, I think the Mountain West has done a very good job. Unfortunately, had we been able to be in a conference that had, the three teams we just talked about and Greg just mentioned, it would have lifted us even more. But it's interesting seeing how everything's played out since, 2000, where Utah's landed, where BYU's landed, where TCU's landed, and now we're in the Pac-12. But I think it's helped us. Who would have imagined we've been able to play in a college be in the game last year? I think that's our highlight, is being able to play against Penn State. Unfortunately, we didn't play as well as I think we could have, but Boise State's come a long way, and that's kind of my highlight.
There's Jay. Appreciate Jay on the Taco Bell hotline. Good stuff. 208-424-9300. Yeah, when they entered the league, they entered at the same. They thought those teams were going to be in the league, and then it would have been, to be honest, we would have talked and compared the Mountain West and the Pac-10 almost as equals, and there would be many years you would have said the Mountain West was a better league in football than the Pac-12 had you kept those teams. But you didn't. Boise State, I thought, did a pretty damn good job of being the flagship program in that new Mountain West. Now, for me, the only thing would be, if I was a big Boise State fan, dang, one more BCS game or New Year's Six, whatever you call it. It would have been
Sure.
New Year's Six in the Ripon era. There was that gap from 14 to 24, where they didn't go to a BCS / New Year's Six level bowl. And that's the kitty on this team. This program, get us to that bowl game. They didn't. It would have been nice if they would have got to another. But all in all, I mean, Boise State, they were the best team in the Mountain West for the era they were in the Mountain West.
I'm glad you brought up that drought, of about 10 years, because I was looking at the text line. Brian in Boise says favorite moment was when you guys announced Boise State would be going to the Pac-12. And I think that's like, was there fatigue? And if so, why? Because it's not like you dominated the Mountain West the way North Dakota State dominated FCS football or something.
No.
And so I don't quite understand. It feels like this was a nice long run that when the opportunity came to level up, so be it. But do you get the sense that fans were dying to get out of the Mountain West in the previous 5-6 years?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I didn't think so either.
Did you guys get what you wanted out of this league? I mean, ultimately, I guess when the first day you would have entered the league and you would have asked a Boise State fan, what do you want out of this? They probably would have said, I want a platform to the Pac-12 or the Big 12 at the time.
A power program.
Power conference.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, but you do go to, in my opinion, a better football league. Basketball will, potentially too, sure, probably a better both. And it's not what you maybe exactly want. It's one of those things where, yeah, I'll take it. Maybe I wished for something else. I asked for Transformers for Christmas, but they got me GoBots instead. It's, kind of like the same thing. Maybe something like that, Prater.
Yeah, it's just always going to be hard to live up to that WAC era.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun. And again, we're talking football here. I think the Mountain West era was good to basketball. I think it elevated the basketball program. The combination of better competition, better league, Leon Rice being here, the stability of all that stuff came together.
Yeah.
And basketball came out of the Mountain West better than it went into the Mountain West. And I think the basketball program was intimidated going into the Mountain West. I know Leon Rice was intimidated. Again, we talked earlier in the show that I believe that there was even some language written into his contract about more resources or more money or, whatever, in terms of, I need some help because we're moving into a basketball conference. It's really going to challenge us. And I think Boise State accepted that challenge for the most part.
They did.
And came out better as a basketball program. I don't think I could say that about football. I don't think football took a step back. I think that they maintained their excellence. They didn't get as many dramatic and quite wonderful moments, national moments that they did during the WAC era. Thank you, Kellen Moore. Thank you, Chris Peterson. Thank you, 25 NFL guys. Just can't compare Mountain West football to WAC football. And I think we're always going to be chasing the magic of the WAC era.
Yep. And, Kellen Moore played 1 year in the Mountain West, guys. It's more of a WAC era. But Leon, what he was able to do in the Mountain West when he got the Drimmick, Derek Marks era going with Watkins and James Webb, that was great. And then he gets the Tyson era a few years later. I mean, yeah, Boise State took what the Mountain West was able to handle everything that came its way, make it work, and be an upper echelon team in the league. It's exactly what you want. Football kind of went into the league as the big badass and is leaving the league kind of the big badass, but wasn't as badass as it was in the WAC when I think their average margin of victory in conference games for a decade was like over 4 touchdowns. It was insane.
There was back to your question, Greg, there was definitely WAC fatigue.
Sure.
Going into the Mountain West. There wasn't Mountain West fatigue going into the Pac-12, but there was definitely WAC fatigue because and this one's all, we can blame Dan Hawkins on this, man. I mean, he loved to win by 48 points, and if it wasn't 48, damn it, he was going for 56. And that was always very, very important to him. And they were winning games so bad. It was Tiger-esque.
It was.
And it got boring and it got monotonous. And then the Mountain West brought a really wonderful fresh of competition and an elevation of purpose, and it was really, really cool to see.
I'll ask you guys again, what was the one historical favorite moment Boise State had in the Mountain West for you? And did Boise State get what it wanted in its time in the Mountain West? We'll keep the Taco Bell hotline open, 208-424-9300. And Seahawk fan, if you want to call and tell us if it's good or bad that the team decided not to use the franchise tag on Super Bowl MVP running back Kenneth Walker, we'd love to hear why. Prater in the ball game, KTIK, the ticket.
This is Ticket Traffic.
Tackle winter job site.